Hi, everyone. My name's Chris Hatch, and today I wanted to walk you through pulling ownership on a piece of property. So you are ready to build the next great commercial real estate building structure, whether that's a freestanding single tenant retail drive-through pad, or whether it's a restaurant or a bank, or maybe a storage facility. How do you find an owner of a piece of land? You drive by a piece of land on a regular basis. How do you find out if they want to sell? So this is kind of my step-by-step process. I'm going to show you a piece of property here located in Utah, pretty close to me in my hometown. I'm in Salt Lake City currently filming this. And this piece of property is going to be located in West Valley City. So here we are on Google Earth. I chose Google Earth versus Google Maps. I usually use Google Maps, but I chose Google Earth for this interaction just because the imagery is a little bit more updated than the Google Maps imagery. Here's the Salt Lake Airport. Here's I-80 coming through town, and I-15, and right here in the cross. And so we're located on kind of the southwest part of the valley out here in the southwest part of town. And where we're focused today is we've been working on this project. This is the Usana Amphitheater, if anybody's been to a concert here. Is the cross streets of 5600 West and 5400 South here. We've actually been working at this intersection for a few years now. We acquired 2 acres here and then built a Jack in the Box and Quick Quack car wash here. Built this drive aisle in the middle, and then we have just opened up the Starbucks. It's a freestanding cafe store here on the south side. And then we're in process. We've finished the shell, just waiting on our electrical equipment. And then in this 4-tenant building, we're going to open up Cafe Rio, Marco's Pizza, and Jersey Mike Subs, and still searching for that 4th tenant. So there's a culvert here that's a water retention thing. But then what I'm wondering is who owns this acreage here? And would it make sense for us to continue kind of our pad strategy down the street here? And so my first step is I've got to figure out which county I'm in. I know I'm in Salt Lake County, so I open up a new tab. And I have saved here to make it really easy for me in my Google Chrome. You can see here in the parcel search, I come down here to parcel Salt Lake County. The easiest way to find a parcel map, and most of counties across America have gotten very technologically advanced over the last 10 years. And most of them render their ownership data on some version of a platform just like this. So Salt Lake County's platform is super easy to work with. And I just zoom right in, and I know I'm sitting right here, and I'm right here at 5400 South. The tighter we zoom in, now we go to an aerial view. Here you can see where I've cut up the 2 acres into 2 1-acre pads, and here I cut up this 2 acres for the 4-tenant building and the Starbucks. And then we know we've got the culvert here, and so we're looking for this owner right here. So I click on the owner, and that gets me to Views at 5600 LLC. So now I've got a business entity. I can see a little bit more information here. You look over on the right side, I can see I'm dealing with 8 acres of ground. And so my next step is I have a business entity. And so what I want to do is go in and Google Utah Business Entity Search. Now, I also have these saved as well. I just put that right in the partial thing, so you can see the business entity search. And I've got the states bookmarked for the states that I most frequently search for ownership in. So my business name, again, is Views at 5600. So I type in Views at, and this is a database, so sometimes less information is better. I'm not really sure if there's a space before the ad or after, so just start with less is more, and then you can always narrow it down and keep typing more if you can't find what you're after. Views at 5600 LLC is listed right here at the top. So this is probably my entity I'm looking for. And I click on here, and I can see this is an individual, Dennis Astill, that lives, or has an office in West Jordan. Sometimes I just immediately go here. This is where the tax notice is being mailed to. So more often than not, this will be, the best way to find this human. Okay, so I can just type this into Google Maps, flip over to layers, and I can see, first off, we're located quite close in proximity to where our subject property is, right? So our subject property is right up here. Okay, and then Mr. Astill, it looks like this is his home. He is located right here. Okay, so I found him. So now I just want to see, I could notice that he is a PC, or personal corporation. So this is probably a developer or some other kind of professional that's like a land entitlement type person. More than likely, when I call this person just by seeing PC, it probably clues me into the fact this is not just some random person that owns a piece of ground. It's not like their dad gave it to him. It's probably, there's something to it. So knowing that he's a professional, one of the things I'll do is just start right there with a Google search and just type in the name and Utah. And I can see pretty quickly, I see a Dennis M. Astill in Midvale, Utah, that's a estate planner. Certainly could be likely that this is who that is. Just going back to the entity info, seeing if I get any other information here. Here's the registered address for where this is located. So sometimes it's good just to Google that and kind of cross-reference. And, lo and behold, here it is. South Jordan full-service law firm is Pearson and Butler. So that's where the notice address goes back to. I click attorney, and it says contact our team. Oh, this is no fun. It's not giving me the full team roster. Usually they'll give you a full team roster right here. Oh, here we go. So let's just see there. And there is Mr. Astill right there. So here he is. So this is the human we're looking for. And what's interesting about this is he's either the owner of this property or he's the attorney. He's the representative for whoever set up the LLC. Sometimes when somebody's setting up a limited liability corporation, they'll have their attorney be the notice party. And it's really to avoid having somebody that's a sales professional get a hold of them because they own a piece of land. So my first step here is just going to be to reach out to Mr. Astill and say, hi, do you own this property? And if you do, I am currently developing the property directly to the north of you, and I'd love to have a conversation and talk a little further. And if it's your client, same thing. I am a qualified party. I am currently actively developing the properties just to the north of you, and I would like to determine if we can work on your piece of property here. If that doesn't work and I can't find them through a Google search, we subscribe to LexisNexis at our office. LexisNexis will help you find a cell phone number attached to people. It's not a perfect science. It takes a little bit of figuring out and getting used to when you're working with that service. But I find 90% of people on Earth, you can always find them, and you can usually do that without really any paywalls. You can typically find them. You just got to keep working harder at it. LexisNexis is a wonderful service. It's kind of like having a Ferrari type, if you were in the car world, comparing it to some of the other lookup services. It's very nice. It's very straightforward, gets you right to the point, and more often than not will get you to somebody's cell phone. But in today's world, almost nobody's hidden. Usually if they're under the age of 50 or 60, by my judgment of looking at their photo, I'll typically try to find them on Instagram. I'll try to find them on Facebook. I'll try to find some version of social media. Lots of the time they're not on there, but their kids have tagged them. So usually when you just kind of go through this public search, you can usually find somebody pretty quickly. And so anyways, hopefully this was helpful for you, and hopefully you have some luck in finding the next property owner that's going to lead you to your next commercial real estate development.